welcome to cardio day. The plan, of course, is to do some cardio. Now, you all know by this point how big of a cardio proponent I am, but I can't stress this enough, I don't think, because we have you know how there was the COVID pandemic? We're in an anti-cardio pandemic. Cardio kills your gains. Cardio kills your gains. If you do cardio, you're going to lose all your gains. Come on. Come on. We all know that's anti-cardio propaganda, and I I don't like to deal with that stuff. I'm more of a anti-steroid, pro-cardio propaganda type of guy. But anyways, it's a little too hot today for outdoor cardio. I'm considering playing some tennis at night. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I've been thinking about the videos for the next week, and I'm not really too sure what I'm gonna do. I think I might record a couple of. I won't be able to record my lifts since I'll be traveling, and I don't think I'll be able to bring my tripod with me and all that. And I'm traveling to see family, so I don't want to force them to be in my videos because I'm sure they probably don't really want to be, but it's okay. I'm gonna record some sitting down videos, maybe like a couple of 10-minute videos, and I'll upload like every other day. I'm just gonna figure it out. I'm just gonna discuss some pretty simple things. I don't know. We could talk about metabolism and some misconceptions around that. I might go through splits like the Arnold split or push pull legs and that type of stuff more specifically and intentionally. And then I might also do a video about. I'm just trying to think of things you guys would be interested in. Something freaking interesting. Oh well. But yeah, it's gonna be a pretty chilled day. Nothing too crazy to discuss. I don't have anything planned for today. I normally don't. I'm normally kind of just spitballing regardless. But yeah, things are gonna get a little crazy. Now, something that I do want to discuss that I just thought of right now. I always see these videos about like, oh, the maximum amount of protein you can absorb in like a meal is like 40 grams. You can't absorb more than 40 grams of protein per meal. I don't know about that. There's varied studies. You'll see anywhere from like 40 to 70, but acting like our body isn't going to absorb all the calories you're eating for the most part just really doesn't make sense to me, especially if you understand the physiology of like the gut and kind of what your body does like with the things you eat. So, for example, actually not for example, I'm just going to explain how it works in simple terms without going into like too crazy of details. So you eat the food, you got peristalsis down your esophagus into your fucking stomach. That makes sense, right? Peristalsis is just like the wave-like motion of pushing the food down. So it gets into the stomach. And then in the stomach, you have more motions that kind of propel the food into your intestines. So we have the small intestine and the large intestine. And most of the absorption occurs in the small intestine. And we're talking breakdown of fats, carbohydrates, and proteins all get absorbed there. Then the kidney and all that other stuff has like roles to like spread it throughout the body. But anyways, pretty much the food, once it enters the small intestine, a ton of like enzymes and fluids, let's just say, get spewed into your small intestine after the change in acidity is detected, and the food, the mass in there is detected, to break it down and get absorbed in there. So you're absorbing pretty much all your fats, carbohydrates, and proteins. I mean, most of them, not all of them. Most of them are getting absorbed there. So let's just focus on that for now. So it gets absorbed into the cell membrane of like the lining of the small intestine. And then from there, let's just say, to keep it simple, it gets mobilized into your vessels and lymphatic system and transported throughout the body to wherever needed. What gets passed through as waste is like after everything's been broken down. And your body's pretty dang good at breaking most things down. I mean, by the time you've moved into the large intestine, like you've absorbed most of the nutrients out of the stuff you've eaten. So I question the idea that like your body isn't able to like extract all the nutrients from like the food you're eating. And here's another like, I mean, this is completely like conjecture on my part. I can easily look this up. and like look at some studies. But I think about it like this: if you eat 4,000 or like let's say 10,000 calories, and your body absorbs most of those, what makes you think that your body wouldn't be able to absorb 100 grams of protein? I mean, you see people eat like 4,000 calorie meals. I mean, we're talking like the people on like my 600-pound life. They'll eat like a 4,000 calorie meal, and all that gets absorbed. You know, so it makes me wonder, like, can we really not absorb the 100 grams of protein? I'm not too sure about that. Now, here's a little bit of a caveat. If you've eaten too much protein, what happens to it in your body? Well, we have something called the urea cycle. Uh, Having like excess amino acids in your body can become, I don't remember the details. I just took this class. I think it becomes a little toxic, and it's just not good to have amino acids floating around. So your body converts the extra amino acids. Either they're harmful or not, but they convert them into urea if they're not being used because they're just floating around doing nothing. It gets converted into urea in the urea cycle, and then you piss them out. Urea, urine, that's, kind of similar. So you get the idea. So your body does break down excess amino acids. So I would change the thought maybe to this. Maybe your body can absorb all 100 grams, but maybe depending on how much muscle mass you have and how much muscle repair is required and how many amino acids are required in certain places for, making ribosomes and proteins and all that stuff, maybe you don't need all of it. So whatever doesn't get used after it's absorbed, then it just gets excreted as urea. Which, okay, then actually we can connect this to the kidney. After it gets converted to urea, there's actually a whole like loop in the kidney where it like gets absorbed, and then it gets secreted and then absorbed, and then like eventually you pee it out. It like contributes to like this salt gradient in your kidney that helps you with like water retention and stuff like that. So a lot of very complex roles. We don't have to. I'm gonna back away from the physiology now because I think we're getting a little bit complicated. But you get the idea. Anyways, what I'm trying to get at is that I don't really think it matters how much protein you eat like at a time. I'm sure it is a little bit better for you to spread them throughout the day, especially because, I mean, it puts a lot of strain on your systems to like break down everything and like convert and do all that stuff. But it takes a long time to digest proteins. So if you had, and I think it's like multiple hours, it's not like something that happens quickly. We're talking like, I think it's at least over 8 hours, maybe around 12. I know the digestive time of specific foods is different. I'm pretty sure it's chicken takes longer to digest than red meats, or is it the other way around? I don't know. But it sits in there for a while. Like, it's sitting in your small intestine for like a minute. Like, it's not just leaving immediately. So say you had like 100 grams of protein in the morning and you had your workout like 6 hours later, you still have protein in your small intestine being digested, and you're getting a steady flow of readily available amino acids that have gotten broken down to go to your muscles. So, now spreading it throughout the day, that's going to be the key. My general rule of thumb is like 50 grams a meal, depending on how many meals you want to have. So I weigh around 170 to 180, depending on if I'm cutting, bulking. So I'm looking at like 130-ish grams, 140 grams of protein a day. So 50, 50, 50, yeah, there we go. We got a little extra, whatever. It doesn't hurt to go a bit over the top. But you get the idea. It doesn't matter so much as when you eat them. Rather, are you actually getting the protein in? So there's the rabbit hole of small intestine physiology, as well as a touch of kidney physiology, and yeah, giving you a little bit of a pre-med deep dive there, and surprisingly enough, that's only like a small little component of what you need to know for the MCAT. It does help that I already took these courses. If you are a pre-med student, we're getting off track from lifting. If you're a pre-med student, I would actually recommend taking your harder classes earlier on, such as biochemistry and physiology and anatomy and any of those classes. And I'll tell you why. Even if they aren't required, knowing that stuff before you go into the MCAT, I mean, I've even begun studying, but I know like most of cellular biology, organic chemistry, biochemistry, physiology, in general chemistry, obviously. I mean, having a baseline for those things before you even go in and look at questions is great, because a lot of what you need to know connects to those things. And you'll get in like the mental framework that they kind of want you to be thinking in. I mean, most of the MCAT that isn't like the reading comprehension and social psychology section, that's all that stuff. And it's all very similar. Even if you encounter something that's new at this point, it's going to be very similar to what you learn in biochemistry and physiology specifically. So take those classes before you start studying. Take physics early and pay attention in those classes. Seriously, I think it'll make a world of a difference. I mean, I've just started looking at questions and I feel like I'm kind of breezing through. But yeah, that's a little bit of a sidetrack. Okay. I think that's enough yapping for now. Let's get in there. The plan is, I want to say 30 to 40 minutes of cardio, depending on how the knees feel. I actually banged my knee right when I got in my car on this little, like the light control over here. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. If the knee hurts, we'll take it a little easy. If not, we'll go crazy. But yeah, that's good for now. I'll figure out what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm not too sure, but a little bit of a short video today. We'll cut the after cardio car talk. We'll keep this a little bit more condensed, synthesized, focused, and I'll let you think about the complexities of the small intestine and the digestive system. One final message: go freaking do your cardio now. You know how much I vouch for that. If you've seen JoJo's, then if you don't do your cardio, I'll probably hit you with a yada. I'm done. Jotaro is badass though. And if you do your cardio, I'll hit you with the Joseph Joestar. Oh my god! And there you go. There's your gift for today. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. We're just gonna act like none of that just happened. Don't worry, I'll probably cut that out of the video anyways. Ask me a question, please. If you have any burning questions, I would love to record a quick little video to address it. I'm decently knowledgeable if you want some more like science-based like explanations for things in terms of why things happen. But yeah, just let me know. And thanks for watching. Peace out, guys. Do your cardio now.